5 Best Low-Light Indoor Trees to Improve Your Home Decor. Indoor plants have always had a special place in gardeners' hearts, especially the ones with tea and vivid foliage. However, there are houseplants that we frequently overlook because we deem them to be too bulky. Trees. And no, you don't have to grow an oak, birch, or pine in your living room. There are some compact trees, such as indoor palms, ficuses, and yuccas, that will fit in your house perfectly. However, some of them have another superpower. They can tolerate low-light conditions. Of course, some of these plants cannot thrive if there is not enough sunlight, but they can manage just fine. So, let's look at some of these trees, and who knows, perhaps you'll even find one to fall in love with. 5 Low-Light Indoor Trees. Trees that can tolerate or even thrive in low light levels are perfect companions for your low-light hanging houseplants, such as pothos, monstera, and some ferns. Therefore, low-light plants are the plants that prefer to be a few feet away from bright, west-facing windows. Below, you will find all sorts of trees that will remain green year-round, even in darker corners of your living room. 1. Areca palm. The feathery fronds of the Areca palm, also known as the bamboo palm, are a great way to add more greenery to your home. And its silvery green trunk, which later takes on a yellowish hue, is just icing on the cake. The light requirements of this tree are really modest, and it will tolerate low light without much resentment. It doesn't require a lot of water, but you should still irrigate it at least once a week during its growing season and every other week once it enters dormancy. Keep the relative humidity between 40 to 60%, which you can achieve by misting or using a humidifier, and fertilize the Areca palm with a regular houseplant or palm tree slow-release fertilizer 3 times a year. 2 Parlor palm. Green fronds, slender stems, and bushy growth make this plant suitable for different interior designs. Furthermore, this tropical plant doesn't require much care, so it's perfect for beginners. It can tolerate shade as well as indirect sunlight, requires loose and well-draining soil, and needs to be watered every other week, depending on how quickly the medium dries out. The Parlor palm tolerates average household humidity, and you'll only need to feed it once a month with a general houseplant fertilizer. 3. Majesty palm. This large palm and its messy fronds add casual chic to modern decor and can give you tropical vibes in your living room. It can tolerate low-light conditions, so growing it in indirect indoor light won't be an issue. However, it does prefer brighter light levels. The Majesty palm also loves well-draining and moist soil, but you should always let it dry out a bit between waterings, and the humidity levels should be above 50%. Majesty palm fertilizer requirements are pretty modest. Simply feed it once a month with a nitrogen-rich liquid fertilizer like the 2nd of August 12 diluted to half strength. 4. Soft tree fern. The dark green fronds of the soft fern tree can get quite tall and wide, but they will fit your home perfectly with a little bit of pruning. This plant never ceases to amaze because its stems can grow multiple heads and even be curved. It thrives in low light levels and moist soils, but you should always wait until the medium dries a bit before irrigating it. The potting substrate should also be loamy and rich in organic content and nutrients so as to provide proper aeration and essential minerals. The soft tree fern prefers higher humidity, but you can quickly raise household air moisture by turning on a humidifier. Finally, you can feed this plant with a well-balanced, slow-release fertilizer in spring if necessary. 5. Bird of paradise. The clumps of silvery green, blue-green, or dark green foliage on this tree are incredible. Still, the main attraction are definitely the flowers. Orange sepals arranged in a fan or rimmed with blue petals soaring from a deep green spathe. This plant thrives best in bright light, including direct sunlight, but it can tolerate low-light conditions to a certain degree. The bird of paradise needs to be watered about once a week, but if you grow it in low light, it may take more time for the soil to start drying out. Therefore, always check the topsoil before irrigating this unique tree. Plant it in an aerated and well-draining potting mix, and ensure that the humidity levels are high at least above 50%. Finally, feed it with a well-balanced water-soluble fertilizer every other month during the growing season, but make sure to dilute it to at least half strength. Thanks you for your visiting.